Hi everyone, I'm Helen from Susan's family. Today, I'm bringing you the Blenheim Palace blanket. It consists of large motifs, small motifs, joining and edging. We'll start by crocheting the small motifs. Once those are completed, we'll crochet the large motifs. Then, we'll join the motifs together. Finally, we'll crochet the edging in rounds. The small motifs start with a magic ring. We crochet outwards in rounds counterclockwise. In the second round, we need to change colors, and the colors are not fixed. The first and third rounds use a fixed color. The stitch techniques used include chain stitches, double crochets, DC3 large cluster, single crochets, and slip stitches. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. Before we start crocheting, let's learn the basic posture for crocheting. To make it easier for you to see clearly, I will use thick yarn for the demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, we'll start with the magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your left index finger. Pinch the overlapping part of the loops with your right thumb and index finger. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through the space between your left index finger and middle finger. Transfer the loop to the space between your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert it into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Continue with a chain stitch to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop. 1 chain stitch is completed. Pull tight. The magic ring is done. Next, work the first round. Start with 3 chain stitches. As the turning chain for the double crochet, yarn over and draw through. 1, 2, 3. These 3 chain stitches count as 1 double crochet. Then, make a chain stitch for the interval. Work 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Yarn over. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw through. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through once. 1 double crochet is done. Move on to a chain stitch for the interval. Then make 1 double crochet, yarn over. Insert. Yarn over. Draw through. Then yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 2 more times. 1, 2. The second double crochet is complete. Including the turning chain, you have now worked 3 double crochets. Follow with a chain stitch interval. Continue with 1 double crochet, 1 chain stitch, repeating this sequence 5 times. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you have a total of 8 double crochets. After that, close the magic ring. There are 2 loops. First, gently pull the starting tail. You will see 1 loop moving. Tighten the moving loop. One loop remains. Pull the yarn tail tight. This will secure the loop. Next, crochet a slip stitch into the top chain of the turning chain. Find the third chain from the turning chain. Pick up the 2 strands on the edge. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. And draw through all the loops on the hook. The slip stitch is complete. On the right, you can see the braid formed by the slip stitch. To make it easier for the following crochet work, we'll treat this as the first stitch of the turning chain. For the next round, we need to change colors. Break the yarn. First, crochet a chain stitch to secure. Leave a little yarn tail. Break the yarn. Pull tight. This yarn tail can be hidden in the subsequent crochet work. Hide the starting yarn tail inside the fabric. You can hide a few more stitches. Trim the remaining yarn tail. The side with the neat double crochet texture is the right side. Keep the right side facing you while crocheting. This completes the first round. Now, move on to the second round. Pick up the corresponding color of yarn. Refer to the chart for specifics. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Then, find the stitch from the previous round's turning chain. That is, the braid on the right side of the yarn tail. Insert the hook. Draw the loop through. Adjust slightly. Pay attention to not let the knot show on the right side. Then, make 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. You can crochet this round of chains a bit looser. In the same position, crochet a variation of the DC3 large cluster. I will refer to it as a large cluster from now on. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Place the short yarn tail, where you join the yarn, above the hook. Hide it as you crochet. Then, yarn over and draw the yarn through. Continue to yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops. There are 2 loops left. This is an incomplete double crochet. Crochet another incomplete double crochet in the same position. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Then, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Complete the second incomplete double crochet. Continue by crocheting another incomplete double crochet in the same spot. Now there are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull through the first 3 loops. There are 2 loops left. Continue to yarn over and draw through in once. Complete the large cluster. The V-shaped loop above is its stitch. Next, crochet 3 chain stitches. Then pick up the same position below. Crochet a slip stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Draw through all the loops on the hook. Complete the slip stitch. Here, I treat the 3 chain stitches on either side, the centered large cluster, and the slip stitch below, as one motif for this round. Continue to crochet the motif downwards. First, pick up the adjacent double crochet stitch, which is the braid on the upper right. Crochet a slip stitch transition. Pay attention to weaving in the yarn. Then crochet the motif. That is, 3 chain stitches. 1 large cluster. First, crochet 3 incomplete double crochets. Then yarn over and draw through the first 3 loops. Yarn over again and draw through once. Complete the large cluster. Continue to crochet 3 chain stitches. Then pick up from the same position below. Crochet a slip stitch. To complete the motif. Then pick up the stitches of the double crochets and crochet the motifs correspondingly. Before starting, crochet a slip stitch for the transition. Repeat this process to finish the remaining part. After completing the last motif, pick up the starting position for the next motif and crochet a slip stitch. Finally, cut the yarn, secure with a chain stitch. Leave a little yarn tail. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. Hide the yarn tail inside the fabric. I won't demonstrate this step here. That completes the second round. Move on to the third round. Pick up the same color yarn from the first round. Make a slip knot. Find any motif from the previous round. Position it directly above the center of the large cluster. Below the stitch. There is a vertical braid. Insert the hook from the center of the braid to the back. Draw the loop through. Adjust slightly. Then make a chain stitch. This will serve as the turning chain for the single crochet. The turning chain does not count as a stitch. In the same position, make one single crochet. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through once. One single crochet is completed. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Move on to crochet 2 chain stitches as an interval. For this round, crochet the chain stitches as usual. Pick the adjacent large cluster directly below. Find the space below the stitch. Look for the vertical braid. Insert the hook into the center. Then crochet 3 double crochets. Two chains as an interval. In the same position, crochet another 3 double crochets. Here, I will crochet 3 double crochets on both sides, with 2 chain stitches in between. Treat this as a corner. Crochet 2 chain stitches as an interval. Then pick the top of the adjacent pattern. From now on, insert the hook into the center of the braid directly above the large cluster. I won't go into detail after this. Crochet 1 single crochet here. Insert the hook, yarn over and draw the yarn through, then yarn over and draw through the 2 loops on the hook. Complete the single crochet, the next 2 chain stitches as an interval. Here, treat the single crochet and the 2 chain stitches on either side as one edge. Crochet a corner downward. Pick the top of the pattern. Crochet 3 double crochets, 2 chain stitches. Three double crochets. Complete the corner. Continue crocheting one edge. That is 2 chain stitches. Pick the top of the adjacent pattern. Crochet 1 single crochet, 2 chain stitches. Complete the edge. Then crochet according to the method for edges and corners. Finish the last corner. Crochet 2 chain stitches downward. Complete the starting edge. Finally, join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. Insert into the single crochet stitch, that is, this large horizontal braid. Insert. Start crocheting. Here, you need to pull tight the braid formed by the slip stitch to prevent extra stitches when joining. Finally, cut the yarn. Hide the beginning and ending yarn tails inside the fabric. And that completes a small flower motif. Everyone can follow the same method. Crochet the corresponding number and colors of small flower motifs. I won't repeat the demonstration here. That concludes the explanation of the small flower motifs. Next, we will crochet the large flower motifs. We still start with the magic ring. Crochet outward in a circular pattern counterclockwise. The process is divided into 3 sections. The middle large circular part is section 1. The 4 corners are section 2. The remaining part is section 3. Work from the inside out. Crochet each of the 3 sections in sequence. You will need to switch colors while crocheting. Many new stitch techniques are used. The charts have all been marked. I won't go through each one here. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. First, pick up the corresponding color of yarn. Start with a magic ring. The method is the same as for the small flower motifs. I won't go into detail. After completing, chain 1 as the turning chain. Then pick up the stitch holes. Crochet 8 single crochets. After completing, check the stitch count. You can count the stitches from back to front. 2, 4, 6, 8. After completing, close the ring. Then slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. That's the large horizontal braid on the left side. The vertical small braid is the turning chain. Skip it. Insert the hook into the corresponding position. And crochet. To prevent adding extra stitches later, pull the braid of the slip stitch tight. Then cut the yarn. The yarn tail can be woven in during the next round. This completes the first round. Move on to the second round. You need to crochet a large cluster. The method is the same as the bobble stitch in the second round of the small motif. Pick up the working yarn. Make a slip knot. Find the stitch where the yarn tail from the previous round is located. Insert the hook. Draw the loop through. Make a slight adjustment. From now on, unless otherwise specified, join the yarn using this method. I won't go into detail about it later. Then, make 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Crochet 2 incomplete double crochets in the same space. Pay attention to weaving in the ends. Place all the yarn tails above the hook. At this point, there should be 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Draw through the first 2 loops. There are 2 loops left on the hook. Yarn over again. Draw through once. Because we started with a turning chain, the large cluster technique here is a bit special. Crochet 7 chain stitches for the transition. Pick up the adjacent stitch. Work a regular large cluster. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through the first 3 loops. Yarn over again, and draw through once. Continue with 7 chain stitches for the transition. Pick up the stitches below one by one. Work the large cluster correspondingly. Between the large clusters, 7 chain stitches for the transition. The following large clusters are worked normally. Repeat this process. Finish crocheting the remaining part. Finish crocheting the last 7 chain stitches in the stitch of the first large cluster, which is at the braid on the upper right. Work a slip stitch. Pull tight as well. Finally, cut the yarn. This completes the second round. Continue with the third round. Find the center stitch of any 7 chain stitches. On the right side, the chain forms a V-shaped braid. Pick up the corresponding chain stitch. The 2 strands of the braid. Which are these 2 crossing strands? Insert the hook. Join the yarn. Then make 3 chain stitches as the turning chain for the double crochet. This also counts as 1 double crochet. Work 1 double crochet in the same space. Pay attention to weaving in the ends. Move on to a chain stitch interval. Then work a picket of 3 chain stitches. I'll refer to this as a picket from now on. First, crochet 3 chain stitches. Then pick up the first stitch of the 3 stitches, counting from the top down. Note that this does not include the loop on the hook. 1, 2, 3. Pick up the half loop on the outside of the corresponding braid. With this strand, make a slip stitch. Unless otherwise specified, there's no need to tighten the slip stitch. That completes the picket. Next, work a chain stitch interval. Pick up the same position below, and crochet 2 double crochets. Pick up the 2 strands corresponding to the adjacent chain stitch. Crochet 1/2 double crochet, yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. You should have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through once. One half double crochet is completed. For the next 7 chain stitches, pick up the 2 strands corresponding to each chain stitch, and insert the hook. I won't go into detail from here on. For adjacent stitches, work a single crochet decrease. First, pick up the adjacent chain stitch, and work an incomplete single crochet. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. You should have 2 loops on the hook. This is the incomplete single crochet. Skip the adjacent chain stitch and work the stitch of the large cluster and the next chain stitch. Pick up the back loop and work an incomplete single crochet. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. Complete the incomplete single crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. Complete the single crochet decrease. For the adjacent chain stitch, work 1 half double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. Then yarn over and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. Complete the half double crochet. In the next chain stitch position, work 2 double crochets. One chain stitch interval. Then work a picket. First, work 3 chain stitches. Then pick up the outside half loop of the first chain. Work a slip stitch. Complete the picket. Next chain stitch interval. Then pick up in the same position. Work 2 double crochets. Work a half double crochet adjacent to it. Then pick up in the adjacent chain stitch and the second chain from the left side of the large cluster. Work at SC2 tog. Start with an incomplete single crochet. One, 2. Then yarn over and draw through in once, completing the SC2 tog. Here, I will treat the stitches between the SC2 tog as one group, and this group of stitches picks up the middle 3 chains out of 7 chains. Working a single crochet decrease around the large cluster on both sides. Crochet at the second chain space, which means skipping the cluster and the chain space on both sides. From now on, pick up the chain stitches and repeat the group of stitches and the SC2 tog. Complete the remaining part. While crocheting, you may encounter the yarn tail from the previous round. Pay attention to hide it as you crochet. When weaving in the yarn tail, you can also place it from left to right over the hook. After finishing this SC2 tog, there is one more braid before reaching the turning chain. Correspondingly, make 1/2 double crochet. This completes the group. Finally, pick up the turning chain and work a slip stitch. Pick up the third chain stitch. The edge has 2 strands of yarn. Insert the hook and crochet. Pull the slip stitch tight. Fasten off the yarn. This completes the 3rd round. Move on to the 4th round. For this round, you need to crochet with 2 strands of yarn. For the sake of explanation, I will refer to the first strand of yarn as color 1. The other strand will be color 2. You can also refer to the diagram for specifics. First, pick up color 1. Find any picket position from the previous round. You can see there is a chain space below. At the chain space, attach the yarn on the right side of the picket. Then, pick up color 2. Leave a little yarn tail. Place it above color 1. Hold color 1 with your left hand. Make 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. This counts as 1 double crochet. Then, crochet 2 more double crochets in the same spot. While crocheting, keep all the yarn tails above the hook. After completing, continue with 1 chain stitch. Stretch the loop a bit. Remove the hook. Pick up color 2 from below. Crochet a 4DC popcorn stitch. From now on, I'll call it a 4DC popcorn. Here, crochet into the picket. Place color 1 at the back. Find the center hole of the picket. Insert the hook. Pull color 2 through. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. In the same hole, crochet 3 double crochets. You can hide the short yarn tail while crocheting. Place color 1 back in position. After completing, stretch the loop a bit. Remove the hook. Find the 3rd chain stitch from the beginning chain. Insert the hook under the 2 edge strands. Pull the loop that was left through. As you crochet, make sure the double crochets stand out forward. Then, crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. This completes the popcorn stitch with 4 double crochets. Next, remove the hook. Insert the hook into the loop of color 1. Then insert it into the loop of color 2. Wrap color 1 around your left hand. Use color 1. Yarn over and pull the yarn through. This is essentially making a slip stitch. Secure color 2. Make a slight adjustment. Continue using color 1, crochet 1 chain stitch. Then, behind the popcorn stitch. From front to back, pick up the left side of the picket. Still picking up the chain space. Crochet 3 double crochets. While crocheting, hide the short yarn tail and color 2 as you go. Pay attention to keeping color 2 taut. After completing, pick up the adjacent 2 double crochet stitches. Work half double crochets into each stitch. Note that the adjacent stitch may be hidden. Don't skip any stitches while crocheting. After completing, pick up the adjacent half double crochet and the left side of the single crochet decrease. Crochet a single crochet decrease. That means skipping the bottom single crochet decrease position. Continue picking up the adjacent double crochet positions. Work 2 half double crochets correspondingly. After completing, on the right side of the picket, pick up the large chain space and crochet 3 double crochets. One chain stitch. Then switch to color 2 and crochet 4 popcorn stitches. Similarly, pick up the center of the picket and insert the hook. Place color 1 at the back. Pick up color 2. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Then crochet 3 double crochets. After completing, slightly enlarge the loop. Then insert the hook into the third chain from the turning chain. Draw out the loop that was left. The double crochet should stand out. Then crochet a chain stitch to secure. Complete the 4-stitch popcorn. Next, pick up color 1. Insert into the loop. Secure color 2. This is equivalent to making a slip stitch to secure. After completing, continue using color 1. Crochet a chain stitch. Then from the left side of the picket, pick up the chain space and crochet 3 double crochets. Pay attention to weaving in color 2. After completing, adjacent, work 2 half double crochets one by one. Later, pick up the half double crochet positions on either side of the single crochet decrease. Crochet a single crochet decrease. Here, I consider the decreases as a group of stitches. Next, above the decrease, pick up the stitches on either side and crochet a short needle decrease. Between the decreases, crochet a group of stitches. The stitch pattern and method can be referred to from the previous demonstration. I won't go into detail about it later. Follow this method to finish the remaining part. After finishing this short needle decrease, there are still 2 stitches left below. Correspondingly, crochet 2 half double crochets. When you encounter a beginning chain, insert the hook into the hole above it and crochet. This is the same position where you previously inserted for the slip stitch. Finally, join with a slip stitch at the beginning chain. For the following rounds, always insert the hook into the 3rd chain stitch for the beginning chain. I won't repeat this later. After completing, pull tight. Do not change colors for the next round. Keep color 1. You won't need color 2 for the next round. Leave a little yarn tail and cut it directly. This completes the 4th round. Continue with the 5th round. Start with a chain 1 as the turning chain. Then pick up the hole at the top of the beginning chain. Work a single crochet. Pay attention to weaving in the yarn tail. Pick up the stitch below. Correspondingly, crochet 2 half double crochets. Pick the hole on the right side of the adjacent popcorn stitch. Crochet 3 double crochets. Two chain stitches as an interval. Then pick the chain space on the left side of the popcorn stitch. Crochet 3 double crochets. Pick up the stitch and crochet 2 half double crochets. One single crochet. Pick up the adjacent half double crochet below, and the half double crochet position next to the left double crochet. Crochet a single crochet decrease. Here, we skip the single crochet decrease from the previous round, as well as one half double crochet on either side. I treat 2 single crochets and the stitches in between. As one group of the pattern. After completing the decrease here, continue down to crochet another group of the pattern. Pick up the stitch and crochet 1 single crochet, 2 half double crochets. Then pick the hole on the right side of the popcorn stitch. And crochet 3 double crochets. Two chain stitches. Then pick the left chain space, and crochet 3 double crochets. Next, pick up the stitch and crochet 2 half double crochets. One single crochet to complete one group of the pattern. Then, skip the decrease from the previous round, and the stitch on either side. Pick the corresponding position and crochet a single crochet decrease. Continue repeating the group of the pattern and the single crochet decrease. Finish the remaining part. Complete this group of the pattern. Continue corresponding single crochet decreases. When you reach the starting position, pick up the single crochet stitch and work a slip stitch. Pull tight. You will need to change colors. Fasten off the yarn. The 5th round is now completed. Move on to the 6th round. Pick up the corresponding yarn. Join the yarn in any chain space from the previous round. Then make 2 chain stitches to start. 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 Then make 2 chain st These 2 chains count as 1/2 double crochet. Next, pick up the same chain space. Work 1 double crochet. One half double crochet. Then pick up the next stitch. Work 4 single crochets, corresponding to each stitch. Next, pick up the adjacent stitch and the half double crochet position next to the left single crochet. Work a single crochet decrease. Below, skip the single crochet decrease and the single crochets on either side. Continue downward. Pick up the stitch and work 2 single crochets. Then work 5 chain stitches. Find the 4 single crochets on the right side. Count from right to left, the 3rd single crochet. Work a slip stitch here to secure. You need to crochet on the wrong side. First, turn over. Then pick up the corresponding position and crochet. You can flip to the right side to check the position. After completing, turn over again. Go back. Pick up 5 chain stitch positions. Correspondingly make slip stitches. The adjacent braid is the braid formed by the slip stitch. Skip it. Start crocheting from the left chain. Similarly, pick up the 2 strands of the chain and insert the hook to crochet. Crochet to the top of the single crochet. Pick up the corresponding single crochet stitch below the front strand of yarn and the strand on the left. Crochet a slip stitch. Here, I will crochet 5 chains and these few slip stitches as 1 chain pattern. Continue downward. Crochet 2 single crochets to the left. Then pick up the chain space and crochet 1/2 double crochet. 1/2 double crochet. Then crochet 4 single crochets behind. Next, pick up the half double crochet next to the single crochet. Crochet a single crochet decrease. Similarly, I will treat the decrease as a wave. And the wave includes the chain pattern. I will demonstrate the wave crochet technique again. First, crochet 2 single crochets. Then crochet the chain pattern. That is, start with 5 chains. Turn. Pick up the third single crochet among the adjacent 4 single crochets. Join with a slip stitch to secure. Once completed, turn again. Pick up 5 chain spaces, correspondingly crochet slip stitches. When you reach the top of the single crochet, pick up the front loop of the single crochet stitch and the left loop. Crochet a slip stitch. This completes the chain pattern. This completes it. This completes the chain pattern. Continue to crochet the wave. The stitch pattern is simple, so I won't go into detail. You can refer to the previous wave. After completing it, pick up the half double crochet next to the single crochet. Crochet a single crochet decrease. Then follow with 1 wave. 1 single crochet decrease. Alternate crocheting. Pay attention, after completing the first 2 single crochets of the wave, you need to crochet the chain pattern. And when securing, pick up the 4 symmetrical single crochets from the previous wave. Insert the hook into the 3rd stitch. Mindful that after completing each wave, check if the chain pattern has been crocheted. Continue crocheting down. Finish crocheting the remaining part. After completing the last chain pattern, continue to complete this wave. Finally, slip stitch into the 2nd chain of the beginning chain. Pull tight. For the next round, you need to change colors. Break the yarn. Here, hide the yarn tail inside the fabric. The method is simple, so I won't demonstrate it. This completes round 6. Next, work round 7. Pick up the corresponding yarn. Find any chain pattern from the previous round. You can see there are 6 braids above. Pick up the yarn at the first braid on the right. Make 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. In the same space, work 1 double crochet. Here, treat the beginning chain and the double crochet as a special DC2 bobble. Then work 2 chain stitches as an interval. Skip the adjacent braid. Pick up the next braid. Work a DC2 bobble. First, work 2 incomplete double crochets. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, draw through once. Complete the DC2 bobble. Continue with 2 chain stitches as an interval. Then work a picot. Follow with 2 chain stitches as an interval. Pick up the chain stitch pattern below the adjacent braid. Work a DC2 bobble. Two chain stitches as an interval. Skip 1 braid. Pick up the corresponding position and work a DC2 bobble. I consider the stitches worked on top of the chain as a group of bobble group. Follow with 1 chain stitch as an interval. Then skip 1 stitch to the left. Pick up the adjacent position and work 1 slip stitch. Work 5 chain stitches as a transition downwards. Then skip 3 stitches. Pick up the adjacent position and work 1 slip stitch. Follow with 1 chain stitch. Then pick up the next chain stitch pattern above. Pick up the next one. Then pick up the next chain stitch pattern above. Work a group of bobble group. That is, pick up the first braid out of 6 braids. Work a DC2 bobble. Two chain stitches. Skip 1 braid. Work a DC2 bobble. Two chains. Follow with 1 picot. Two chains. Pick up the adjacent chain space. Work a DC2 bobble. Two chain stitches. Skip 1 braid. Work a DC2 bobble. Complete a bobble group. Skip one stitch below. Make a slip stitch. First, make one chain. Then, 5 chains for transition. Next, skip 3 stitches. Make a slip stitch. One chain stitch. Pick up the top loop of the chains and work a bobble group. With one chain between each others. Then pick up the sides of the centered 3 chains. Crochet a slip stitch. 5 chains between slip stitches for transition. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting downward. Finish the last bobble group. One chain after that. Skip one stitch. Make a slip stitch. Then 5 chain stitches. Skip 3 stitches and make a slip stitch. One chain. Pick up the double crochet stitch next to the beginning chain, and make a slip stitch. You can tighten, or not tighten the slip stitch. Fasten off the yarn. This completes the 7th round. Now crochet the 8th round. This round also uses 2 colors. I will still call the starting color color 1. The other one is color 2. Refer to the pattern chart for details. Pick up color 1. Find any picket on the left side, and locate the chain stitch position. Join the yarn. Then pick up color 2. Leave a little yarn tail. Place it above color 1. Continue using color 1. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Work 2 double crochets in the same hole. Pay attention to weaving in the ends. Continue downward. Pick the stitch of the adjacent bobble stitch. That is, the braid on the upper right. Crochet 1 double crochet. Work 2 double crochets in the next chain space. Hook 1 double crochet above the bobble stitch. in the adjacent chain stitch position. Hook 1 double crochet. Move down to the position of 5 chain stitches. Then crochet the cluster. Pick the position of the 6th round. Place the chain stitches behind. Then pick the position where you previously inserted the slip stitch. Crochet an incomplete double crochet. Pay attention to placing the chain stitch below the hook. Still weave in the ends. Then skip 1 stitch. Move down to the double crochet position. Pick up the stitch and crochet an incomplete half double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. Complete the incomplete half double crochet. Continue by skipping 1 stitch. Move down to the insertion point of the slip stitch. Correspondingly crochet an incomplete double crochet. Place the chain stitch below. At this point, there are 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over, draw through once. Complete the cluster. Continue downward. Pick up the adjacent chain space and crochet 1 double crochet. Next is the cluster pattern position. Crochet double crochets corresponding to the cluster. Crochet 2 double crochets into the chain space. Finish the picket on the right side. Crochet 3 chain stitches downward. Here, the cluster pattern is at the center. The stitch patterns on both sides are symmetrical. Moving down, I will consider 3 chain stitches and the space between them as 1 edge. Then, pick up the space and crochet 1 slip stitch. Next, continue with 1 chain stitch. Then use color 2 to crochet. Place color 1 back in its original position. Find the center of the picket. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Then crochet a 5DC popcorn stitch. I'll call this a 5DC popcorn stitch. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. This counts as 1 double crochet. Then crochet 4 more double crochets. Next, stretch the loop. Insert the hook into the starting chain. Draw the loop through. The double crochet should stand out. Then crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. The 5DC popcorn stitch is completed. Continue with 2 chain stitches. Then pick up color 1. Join with a slip stitch to color 2. Crochet one more chain stitch on the back side of the popcorn stitch. From front to back, pick up the left picket and crochet one slip stitch. Then crochet an edge, which is 3 chain stitches. Pick up the chain spaces and crochet 2 double crochets in each. Correspondingly, crochet 1 double crochet in the puff stitch. In the chain space, crochet 1 double crochet. When you reach the slip stitch position, work a cluster pattern downwards. First, pick up the slip stitch. Crochet an incomplete double crochet. Pay attention to placing the chain stitch at the back. Then skip 1 stitch. Crochet an incomplete half double crochet. Yarn over. Insert. Yarn over and draw through. Complete the incomplete half double crochet. Continue to skip 1 stitch. Pick up the previous slip stitch position. Crochet an incomplete double crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through once. Complete the cluster pattern. Continue downwards. Continue work corresponding number of double crochets at next chain space and stitches. Finish the 2 double crochets on the right side of the picket. Continue to crochet 3 chain stitches. This completes 1 edge. Then pick up below and work 1 slip stitch, followed by 1 chain stitch. Then use color 2 to crochet. Pick up the center of the picket. Crochet 5 popcorn stitches. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Then crochet 4 double crochets. Next, draw the loop that was left from the beginning chain through. Note that the double crochets should stand out forward. Then crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. This completes the popcorn stitch. Follow with 2 chain stitches. Pick up color 1, join with color 2, using a slip stitch to secure. Then crochet 1 more chain stitch. Pick up and crochet a slip stitch on the left side of the picket. Here, I treat the position between the edges as a corner. After that, you'll be working the edges and corners. The methods have all been demonstrated earlier, so I won't go into detail again. You can also refer to the pattern chart for guidance. Pay attention to hiding the yarn at the edge positions. Continue working down. Finish the last edge. Then work the last corner. Here, the last slip stitch is still worked in the chain space on the left side of the picket. After completing it, fasten off. For color 2, leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Hide both yarn tails inside the fabric. This completes the 8th round. Now work the 9th round. Pick up the working yarn. Find any popcorn stitch position from the previous round on the back side. Pick the upper chain stitch. Insert the hook into any 2 strands. Join the yarn. Then make 1 chain stitch as the turning chain. In the same space, work 1 single crochet. Here, insert the hook from right to left into the corresponding position and crochet. Like this on the back side. From right to left, pick the corresponding position and work a single crochet. This is a back post single crochet. Work 1 chain stitch adjacent to it. Then on the left side, pick the insertion point for the popcorn stitch. Work 1 treble crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Insert the hook from front to back into the corresponding position. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Be careful not to cover the popcorn stitch. Now there are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Complete the treble crochet. Pick up the position for 3 chain stitches below. Pick up the top 2 strands of the chain. Work a double crochet. Then work a back post double crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook once from behind. Insert the hook into the right side of the adjacent double crochet's hole. Then insert it into the left side hole. Pick up this stitch from behind. And then work it using the double crochet technique. This is the back post double crochet. The method is the same as a double crochet, but the insertion point is different. I'll demonstrate it again. Wrap the yarn around the hook once, from right to left. Pick up the left side double crochet from behind. Then work a double crochet. This completes the back post double crochet. Continue on. working 4 back post double crochets evenly. After completing them, work the BPDC2 tog. First, pick up the right side stitch and work an incomplete back post double crochet, yarn over. Pick up the corresponding stitch from behind. Pay attention not to pick up the position of the 5 chain stitches. Then yarn over and draw the yarn through. Next, yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. This completes the incomplete back post double crochet. Then move to the left and skip the cluster pattern. Pick up the adjacent stitch and work an incomplete back post double crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through in once. This completes the BPDC2 tog. Continue at the back. Work 6 back post double crochets, one by one. At the position of the 3 chain stitches, pick up the top 2 strands and work a double crochet. Move down to the right side of the adjacent popcorn stitch. Pick up the same insertion point as the popcorn stitch. And work 1 treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Then yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this 3 times. To complete the treble crochet, work 1 chain stitch at the back, then pick up behind the popcorn stitch. At the upper chain stitch, pick up 2 strands and work a back post single crochet. Finish with 1 chain stitch. On the left side of the same popcorn stitch, pick up the insertion point, work 1 treble crochet. Here, I will treat the 2 treble crochets on either side and the space between them. As the corner of this round. The double crochets on top of the chains and the space between them form one side. Continue working the sides and corners downwards. Pick up the top of the adjacent chain and work a double crochet. Then work 6 back post double crochets one by one. Move on to work a decrease with back post double crochets. Pick up the stitches on either side of the cluster pattern. Work an incomplete back post double crochet. 1, 2. Then yarn over and draw through once. Complete the decrease with the back post double crochet. Continue on, working 6 back post double crochets corresponding to each stitch. Work 1 double crochet into the top of the chain. This completes one side. Work the corner next. The method is the same as before, so I won't go into detail. After completing it, continue working the remaining sides and corners. Refer to the previous demonstration for the method. Finish the remaining part. Complete the last side. Fill in the starting corner. First, pick the entry position for the popcorn stitch. Work 1 treble crochet. Then work 1 chain for the interval. Pick up the stitch where you will start the back post single crochet. Work a slip stitch. Pull tight. No need to fasten off the yarn. This completes the 9th round.